What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to do my full review for the Vivo X Note. Now, this phone came out a little over a year ago, and this is a phone I've been, waiting to get my hands on for quite a long time. And I finally got it. I gave it as a, birthday gift to myself. And I actually love this phone. Now, I do have some issues with it. Not, a lot of issues, but I do have a few because no phone is perfect. All right, so let's get down into the video. Now, first thing I want to go over is all the things that I do like, then I'll get into all the things that I don't like. First thing I like is that this phone will work on all your carriers. Now, I don't know about Verizon because I don't have Verizon, but it will work with AT&T and it will work with T-Mobile. Next thing, the presentation. Now, for my presentation, all you got to do is look at my first impressions, unboxing the first impressions of this device, and you'll see the presentation of this device was perfect. It was immaculate. It was so nice. It's the way that all flagship phones should be presented to the consumer. Vivo did it right because you got headphones, you got a case, you got the charging cable, and you got the charging brick. And it was all done in a nice box with a very nice presentation where you slide the drawer out and all your stuff is just laying out. It was just really, really beautiful. So feel free to check out my unboxing and first impressions of this device. Next is the design. I really like the design of this device. I call this my Darth Vader phone. I just love this dark, this dark color. Love this rounded camera, even though I wish it had a little, something here, like a little screen or something there would have been nice, but it doesn't. But it still doesn't take away the fact that I love the design of this device, because I definitely love the design of this device. Next, let's talk about the build quality. Now, the build quality on this is excellent. You got Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and the back. You have a frosted matte finish on the back. And also, I don't know if you can see, but on these rails, you got like little ridges that gives this phone some extra grip. Like if you're the type of person that don't like cases, these little ridges on the rail here give you nice grip on this device. Now, the phone is just a tad bit too thin for me. I would prefer it be a little thicker, but it feels very, very premium in the hand. You're definitely gonna love the build quality on this device. Next, the phone is IP68 water and dust resistant, so there's no worries when it comes to water or dust. Next, the button placement. The button placement is perfect for me because everything is on the right. You got your power button where it belongs, the first button, and your volume rockers on top. Unlike the Google Pixel, which they do everything backwards. I don't like that button placement on that device at all. I hate it because every other device that you see out there, the power button is always going to be the first button. Now, there are a few people out there that actually like the button placement for the Pixel, or it doesn't bother them. It bothers me. I think it's stupid button placement. So the button placement on the Vivo X Note is great. Next, the alert slider. Now, you got your alert slider here on the left, right up here. Now, it's not quite like the OnePlus where you go from ring, silent to vibrate. This one goes from ring and then to silent. Ring and then to vibrate. So it's no big deal. Now, it's not a big deal for me only because my phone is always in vibrate all the time, 24/7, 365. So not a big deal. But I do like the fact that it's on here because this is a premium device. And the more things you have on the device, especially if it's over $1,000, the better. Next, the always on display. Now, I do like this always on display. It is customizable. However, there is an issue with this always on display. And I'll tell you about that when I get into the things that I don't like. But the always on display gets nice and bright, and it is customizable. You can see the time, the date, the battery percentage, so I'll get into the thing. I'll let you know about what I don't like about this always on display when I get into the things that I don't like. Next, this phone has an IR blaster. Let me get to that, which I absolutely love. Here it is right here. I already got it set up for my bedroom TV, but it's not just about TVs. It's about your setup box, AC fan, smart box, AVC receiver, DVD player, projector, and camera. So you can use this for more than just your TV. So I love the fact that this thing has an IR blaster. Next is the display. 7 inches, Quad HD Plus, LTPO, 120 hertz AMOLED display with a peak brightness of 1500 nits. The display on this device is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful, it's bright, it's sharp, it's brilliant, the colors. It's awesome. And I love the fact that this is a 7-inch display. This display is huge. This is by far the biggest device that I have in my arsenal right now. Huge. 7 inches. I love it. Now, everybody don't like phones this big, but I do. Because when I'm watching content, I can really, really enjoy it. The bigger the display, the more I enjoy it. Now, of course, it's not to be compared to my Z Fold 2, because that's a 7.6-inch display. But 7 inches for a regular candy bar style phone works for me. I love it, and I love this display. It's beautiful. Next, the battery life. 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Man, the battery life on this device is phenomenal. I could easily get between a day and a half to 2 days on this device. That's with 100% brightness. That's with 120 hertz refresh rate, always on display, and Quad HD display, all on all the time. Okay, I'm using this phone hard. I use a full blast as moderate to heavy usage. Battery anxiety is don't even exist with this phone, and I love that because you could use this hard, you could use it heavy. Now, I'm not a gamer, so I don't know about the battery life if you're a gamer or not. I'm pretty sure you're still going to get through a whole day easy. But for me, zero battery anxiety, easily a day and a half to 2 days with this device. I love the battery life on this device. This is the kind of battery life that the Note 20 Ultra should have had. Next, battery charging speeds. Now you're getting 80-watt wired charging. You know what's cool about that? From 0 to 100%, 30 minutes. Now they say 32 minutes, but actually I've gotten from 0 to 100% in 30 minutes. And I've done it 3 times, and it keeps saying 30 minutes. So love how fast the battery charging speeds is on this phone. Something that the S23 Ultra should have instead of 45 watts, which I think is a joke for a phone of that magnitude calling itself an Ultra. And also the price point, $1,200 or more, it should have faster charging speeds. Next, 50-watt wireless charging. Okay, so 0 to 100% in 40 minutes. Still great. I love that. Okay, that's awesome. That's what you call Ultra, even though this is not called an Ultra device. This is just called an X Note. Next, 10-watt reverse wireless charging. All of these charging speeds are all faster than the speeds you get on your S23 Ultra. So 80-watt wired charging, 50-watt wireless charging, and 10-watt reverse wireless charging. You're getting 15-watt wireless charging on your S23 and 4.5-watt reverse wireless charging on your S23 Ultra as well. And of course that 45-watt charging, which is a joke. But this is the way you do it, and I love that. No worries. If you only got a half an hour when you get up in the morning for work, this is going to be ready to go for you in a half an hour, no problem. Next, the performance. Now, this does have the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. No overheating, no problems when it comes to performance whatsoever. Everything is nice and fast. Everything is nice and smooth. I love it. This phone just works. I mean, it's really silky smooth. It really is, and I love it. It works with, absolutely no issues at all. No stuttering, no lag, smooth scrolling speeds, fast scrolling speeds. You see how smooth that is? Love that. When you go into YouTube, fast, real fast. Everything is super fast. Okay? So I love the performance on this device. No lag at all. I like this little animation here. I mean, the performance, like I said, it's just butter. Silky smooth. All right, when it comes to software and customization, this phone is using Origin, Vivo's Origin OS. Not my favorite OS, but not bad. Just still trying to adjust to it, get used to it. Because Samsung is still my favorite with One UI. But I do like Origin OS, is cool. But there isn't one major issue, two major issues actually that I have with the OS, and I'll get into that when I get into all the things that I don't like. Now, also, this is currently running Android 13, and this phone will be upgraded to Android 15. So this phone is going to be good for the at least next 3 years. All right? Love that. Now, also, the phone is highly customizable. And I'm just going to go over a few things in the settings. I can't go over all because the video is going to be too long. And I want to try to keep it under a half an hour if I can. I might go over a little bit, but I'm trying to keep it definitely under an hour. Now, customization on this phone is ridiculous. So a lot of customization you could do with this device. And I love that. That's what makes devices like this fun, because you could do a lot of different things. You could tweak a lot of different things, change a lot of different things. That's why I don't really care for stock Android, because stock Android is boring. There's hardly any features, any customization, and it makes no sense, especially if it's Google invented Android, so I don't know why there's so many restrictions on that phone when it comes to customization. It don't make any sense to me. Next, let's talk about biometrics. Now, when it comes to the biometrics on this phone is ridiculous. When it comes to the face unlock, I'm behind the camera. Say it's going to see me with no problem. The face unlock on here is flawless. It's super smooth. Now, also with the fingerprint sensor. This fingerprint sensor is probably the best fingerprint sensor I've ever used on any phone. All I got to do, listen, y'all, I want you to see what I'm doing here. Look, I'm not putting my finger on there flush. I'm just going to put the side of my finger on there, just the side of my thumb, not my whole thumb, just the side of my thumb, and it comes open every time. You know what I like about it too? You got an animation, and also you get haptic feedback, and I love that. So the biometrics on this device is perfection. This is the way biometrics should be on every premium device. And also with that fingerprint sensor, it's an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, so it has the same level of security that Samsung devices have when it comes to the fingerprint sensor. Next, let's talk about the dual stereo speakers. So you don't have a speaker with this one on the top, which I think it should. It would have been even better, but you got the speaker coming through the earpiece, and you got one at the bottom. Now, let me let you listen to just a little bit of music, and you tell me, well, not that music, some non-copyrighted. Okay, you tell me what you think of the speakers. I like them. I think they're good. Let me turn it up. Now, I'll let you listen to a lot more of that, because in my opinion, there's guys out there, or you fellow YouTubers, that do sound tests, but they do them way too fast. By the time you're really trying to adjust your ear to listening to it and seeing how you like the sound, it's already over. I like to give close to a minute, for you to hear the speakers, because that's fair. Sometimes they just go way too fast when it comes to sound. But the sound on these speakers is really, really good. Then let me see if I got anything queued up for as hiring chefs. Okay, now I gotta turn this back down. Let me go to see if I can find a movie real quick so you can see. I was watching Hell's Kitchen earlier, not the best copy. Let me see. Oh, this is what I was watching the other day, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now of course I can't play the audio, because then I'll have an issue with copyright, and I don't want that issue. But I just wanted you to see how this look as far as the display when you're watching content. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful display, and I love it, and it's huge. All right, so let me come out of that, put this bad boy back down. So speakers I really like a lot. Of course, they're not as good as my Mi 11 Ultra and a couple other devices, but they're good. They're good. I just wish it had a speaker actually at the top, separated from the earpiece, and it maybe had just a little bit more fullness of sound. But they are good. Next, let's talk about internal storage. Now, the base storage is 256 gigs of internal storage, which I like because it doesn't come with expandable memory. Now, for me, a device that costs $1,000, even though I didn't pay that for this, but I think right now, in my opinion, anything $1,000 or more should come with 512 gigs standard if it's not going to come with expandable storage. Now, if you're going to give me expandable storage, you can start off, even though I don't think you should start off at 128, I could accept that if I could expand it. But if I can't expand it, 256 gigs is good, but why not 512? Give your consumers more value. All right, next, let's talk about the cameras. Now, you're dealing with the Zeiss optics. Now, on the back, 50 megapixel wide with laser autofocus, optical image stabilization, 8 megapixel periscope telephoto lens with optical image stabilization and 5 times optical zoom, 12 megapixel telephoto with 2 times optical zoom, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide. So you got 2 telephoto lenses. One is 8 megapixel and one is a 12 megapixel. Now the 8 megapixel is a periscope. Okay, it's a periscope telephoto lens with 5 times optical zoom. And you got that 48 megapixel ultra wide. You're also getting 60 times zoom on the photos and 10 times zoom on your videos. Also keep in mind, the video on the back of these cameras on the back shoots video in 8K at 30 frames per second, 4K at 60, and 1080p at 60. With the selfie camera, 16 megapixel wide, shoots video at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So unfortunately, no 4K on the front-facing camera. Now, I want you guys do me a favor, check out these photos and videos, and y'all tell me what you think in the comment section below. right, so now I want to get into all the things that I don't like, and it's only 6 things. 6 things, so it's not a lot of things at all. First thing, now this is the number one issue that I have with this device, is when it comes to the notifications, there's no details with the notifications. That means basically you don't know what the notification is saying or details about that notification. Let me let you see what I'm talking about. See how it says new notification, but no details. You just know that it's a YouTube notification, but you don't know what it is, who it's from, no details. That makes no sense. I don't like that. Now, a few I can see details on, but when it comes to my email, Facebook, Facebook and YouTube, it all looks like, excuse me, it all looks like that. Now, let me show you with my Mi 11 Ultra, the difference. Slide down. Now, see how you could literally see what the notification is? See, you could see what it is. So if I want to watch it, or if I don't want to watch it, it's cool, but at least I can see what it is. See, I can expand it and see what it is. But you can't do that with the Vivo. I don't know why the software is built like this, where you can't see what it is. It just says new notification. I don't like that. Now, the only reason why it's not a deal breaker, now, if this was my main phone, it would be a deal breaker, honestly, because that would annoy me, not being able to actually see what the notification is. But because this is my secondary device, so it's not, a deal breaker for me, because I have my Note 20 Ultra is my main device that I use. So I get all my notifications off of that. No big deal. But that might be a deal breaker for you. I can't say whether it is or not, but I know if this was my main phone, that would be a deal breaker, because I have to be able to see what my notifications are. If you click on it, it's just going to open up the whole video. It's not like you're going to just open it up, expand it, and see what it is. No, it's going to start the video, and you may not want to do that. Now, that might, like I said, that might not be a big deal for everybody, but I don't like that, and I hope that's something that Vivo can straighten out, because I don't like that. And this is the first device that I've ever had that did that, where I can't see what the notification is. That makes no sense to me. All right, number 2 deals with the always on display. Remember when I said I do have a problem with the always on display? Well, as you can see up here, everything looks normal, but no notifications. Now, I just got rid of all the notifications, but you don't get notifications on this always on display. The only notification you'll get is a missed call and a text message. Like a missed text message. That's about it. All those other notifications you're not getting. And I don't understand why your notifications will not come out on your always on display. I mean, what's the point? Having always on display if you can't even get your notifications there. Now, I do like the fact that you have the, I know there's more to having always on display than notifications, but still, if you got your time, your date, day, battery percentage, you're going to want to see your notifications. So I don't know why Vivo's software is like that. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't like that either. Next, no expandable storage. Now, I already talked about that. I know most premium devices don't even have it, but still it should. There's no reason why these devices can't have expandable storage. Next, I already talked about no 4K on the selfie camera. So I don't know why these Chinese devices don't have no 4K on the front-facing camera. It makes no sense to me. All right. Number 5, no headphone jack. Now, I know a lot of premium devices don't even have headphone jacks. There's still some that do. My ROG 5 is a flagship device. It does have a headphone jack. Now, I know it's a gaming phone, but still, there's no reason why these premium devices can't have headphone jacks. Bring back the headphone jack. And last, number 6, I can't use Nova Launcher on this device consistently. Let me show you real quick what I mean by that. So say I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go into default apps. And I'm going to bring up, see, default apps. See where it says home screen right there? Home screen says system launcher. I'm going to change that. See, system launcher, simple view, or Nova. I'm going to go to Nova. And it's going to ask me here, replace the default home screen. Yes, I want to replace it. So now this is the way that I want it. I want all my apps I want more apps on the display, and I want them closer together. I want them further down. And also, when you go swipe to the left, I don't need the Google feed. I mean, this is a Chinese ROM anyway, so you're not going to get the Google feed. But I just want to see a nice, clean display so I can enjoy that wallpaper. Then everything else is the same, but everything else is larger. You know, I made all those widgets much larger. No problem. Love it. Swiping up. See my notifications. Everything's cool, right? This is the way that I like my device set up. I like using Nova Launcher. But there's a problem. Say if I go into YouTube, and then I come out of YouTube and I swipe up, right? Which is what we normally do if you're using the gestures. You swipe up. Do y'all see the difference? Look at my icons. It's back to the way it was before. Every single time I swipe up, it goes back to the system launcher. I don't know why that is. They just don't want me to use Nova Launcher. I don't like that. It should be the consumer's choice if they want to use a third-party app, you know, a third-party launcher. Don't force us to use a system launcher. But that's basically what they're doing. The only way that I could avoid, I'm going to go back and change this again. The only way that I could keep it, say if I go back into YouTube and I go and I slide back and I slide back again and I slide back again, keep sliding back till I get back to the home screen. That's the only way that I could keep using the Nova Launcher. But the minute I swipe up, it's going to go right back to the system launcher. And I could do it right here. Boom. See, right back to the system launcher. So I don't like that. That's the one thing about this device that I can't stand. I can't use Nova Launcher. I can't get notifications on always on display. And my notifications for my biggest apps that I get the most notifications from, like YouTube, my emails, and Facebook, no details, so I don't know exactly what notification it is. So that's basically all the dislikes about this device, and it's only 6 things. So overall, I absolutely love this device, and I do highly recommend this device to anyone. So let me really quick go over some features and customizations, and then I'm going to be finished because I don't want to wear your patience out. So let me go back up to the top. I'm not going to cover everything. I'm just going to go over a few things. Let me see. Display and brightness. So you got your auto brightness. You can, change eye protection, dark mode, auto lock, portrait orientation. You can lock that if you want it in portrait all the time. Your font style, font size, display size. You go on the screen colors. You can go from standard, professional to bright. I'm using bright because I like the way that looks. Down here, you can go from cooler, warmer, or in the middle. I got it in the middle. So that's cool. And you can adapt the ambient to light temperature. You could do that. Come out of that. You scroll down, now you got screen resolution. So you can do smart switch, so it automatically switch resolutions depending on what you're doing, what app you're in. And that save you some power. You also can go to 1080p. You can save even more power, even more battery, but you really don't have to do that because the battery life on this phone is beast mode status, so you can keep it in quad HD and just enjoy it. And of course, you got 2K down here, which is going to give you a clearer, sharper experience. Scroll up, screen refresh rate. Of course, you can max it out at 120 hertz. You can take it down to 60 hertz, or you could do smart switch as far as the refresh rate. Okay. You can and you can pick whatever app. Now, if you want all your apps to run at 120 hertz, you could do that too. It gives you that option. All right, let me come out of that. Visual enhancement. You can enhance the visuals. So optimize the color and contrast of some pictures for more vivid display effects. I got that turned on. And you can use it for YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video. iVideo is really a Chinese app, so I don't use that. Even though it's on, I could turn that off because I'm not going to use that. I wish it was set up where I could use it for my my media player that I normally play my videos on, but it's cool. All right, full screen display at the top of screen. No big deal with that. Home screen, lock screen, and wallpapers. Let's go to that real quick. So home screen settings, you can go in here and change the home screen style, as you can see right there. Standard, draw style. Home screen layout. There's different layouts down here. You got 4x6, 4x7, 5x9. I got it set for 5x9 because I want more apps on my display. Let me see. You got sliding effects. Hold up. Let me go back to that. Moving too fast. Now where was I? Lock screen. Okay, home screen settings. Go back to that. See, there's so many things. So sliding effects. I got the barrel. This is called the barrel. Now you do have other ones like turnover. You got that one. You got turn the page. Maybe I might use turn the page. You got some other ones here. Cube. You got this one there. You got the carousel. So they give you some options. Of course, you can do the rotate. You can do this one. You can do that. Now, this is something that Samsung actually don't give you on their devices. I do like, you got this one too, fade in and out. I like that one. But I think I'm going to go back to turn the page. I actually like that. That's different. So I'm going to stick with that one. Yeah, I've never used that one before. All right, so you can do that. So that's cool. That's in home screen settings. Lock layout, meaning you can lock your home screen. Once you set it up, you can lock it where it never changes. Icon style, size, you can change that. Home screen folders, you can have your own custom folders. The dock, customize icon style, background, and dock. Automatically rearrange icons, automatically rearrange after icon is removed. Home screen kits, you can go in there and change them. Try to do this quick. Now, I'm not going to go over all this because it just takes too long. There's so many things. Swipe down for your notifications. I like that because that means you don't have to worry about going all the way up here to swipe down and get your notifications. You can swipe down anywhere on the screen and it brings down your notifications. See that? So there's no, this phone is too big, I got to go all the way up here. No. Anywhere on the screen, swipe down to get your notifications. So I don't know. People always complaining about how big a device is, and they, these YouTubers are going all the way up here. You don't have to do that, okay? Not at all. So that's it for home screen settings. Let me go to lock screen settings real quick. Lock screen poster. I don't know what that is. I'm not really into that. Like I said, I'm trying to go through this quick. Let me see these. Nah, no big deal with those. Let me see. Always on display. As you can see, click on this, you do get some choices with always on display. So it is customizable. Some of these are animated and they move. So you do have some choices with the always on display. See what says notifications? See where it says right there, phone and messages? Those are the only notifications that you get on the always on display, which makes no sense to me. You can check for update right here too as well. All right, so themes, of course. You go into theme, you could change your themes if you want to do that. Wallpapers, you can go in here and change your wallpaper. They got live wallpapers here. Say if you want a live wallpaper, you can see it moves a little bit. Just moves a little bit if you want to do that. You got this one like the beach, see the water moving. So you got stuff like that. You can always download more. You got a simple mode, system style. Let me come out of that. Dynamic effects, interface dynamic effects. Basically, real-time blur, motion blur, home screen transition animations. Basically, how you're, how when you swipe up, how it's going to look. You can definitely change it to different things. Let me go back again. Let me see. Lock screen fingerprint animation. So you could change what kind of animation you get with your fingerprint. They got face recognition animation. You can change different animations for your face. They got ambient light effect. You can customize it. They got it with the music. Duration can be a minute. Music apps, music light. It's just so many different things. That's why I'm trying to do this fast. Charging animation. When you're charging it, when you plug it in, this is the animation that I picked. But there's a couple more you could choose from. This one, when you insert your USB type power cord, that's what it's going to look like at the bottom, but you can change that as well. Screen off and on animation, how your screen looks when it shuts on and off, you can change that as well. Other dynamic effects, mood cube style, weather backgrounds, and origin player. So that's cool. Let me see. And that's, let me see, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I didn't want this thing to take too long. There's other things on here that you could look at. You know, this safe makes you allows you to check and make sure that your device is secure. You got RAM, storage space. You can add extra RAM here. I got 12 plus 8, so you could add double the RAM basically. Let me see, battery. Of course, it'll tell you could go from save battery balance. You could boost it so the phone will run even faster. You got super power saving mode. You could control what different apps that's consuming your battery. You got more settings. There's just so much stuff in here that you can go over. And it just tells you, you know, how you're using your battery for how long. Only thing, there's no screen on time. At least not in the it doesn't say screen on time. Now this one is saying this is how much screen on time, 2 hours and 41 minutes. So it's digital well-being. It doesn't say screen on time. All right, so basically that's it for the most part. I mean, there's still some other things here, but like I said, I didn't want this thing to take forever. But it's highly customizable. A lot of different features, things you can do with this device. But my thing is, with this device, my favorite things about this device is great build quality, great design, great biometrics, great display, great battery life, great what's that? Great customization. Love that too. Great cameras. So this phone has a lot going for it. I love it. It is now in heavy rotation. So it's in my top 5 of my top 5 Android phones. So I'm going to be doing a video with my new top 5 Android phones because it's definitely changed because this is an added addition. So do I highly recommend this phone? Absolutely. Like I said, it does work AT&T, T-Mobile, and it should work with Verizon as well. Now, I'm not getting 5G. I'm getting 4G. Not a big deal for me. That may be a deal breaker for some of you out there. But I definitely highly recommend this phone. I've seen it as low as under $750 on eBay. Spanking brand new, not renewed, not used, brand new. And like I said, the presentation is excellent. You're going to be presented the way you're supposed to be presented when you buy a premium device. So once again, I keep saying it again, over and over again, I definitely highly recommend this phone. I don't know if it has a global ROM. You could check. I'm not sure. I have the Chinese ROM. I haven't had any issues with it. Now, of course, some things come up in Chinese. I don't have a lot of bloatware on this one, so it's not a problem for me. My Mi 11 Ultra is also a Chinese ROM. No issues using that at all. None whatsoever. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there is staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. That concludes my full review of the Vivo X Note, and I will be comparing this device to other devices that I have in my arsenal. Check you guys out in the next one. Peace.